Hey everyone, it's Wendy Hutton here. Welcome to another edition of Wendy's Corner. Lately, I've kind of been talking about 401ks, investment strategies, especially for those individuals that are getting ready to, get out of college. We have graduations coming up and start going out into the workforce. So as you can see today, I'm kind of sharing my screen today because I'm going to show you a little bit of a demonstration so that you guys can get a really good idea of the workings of a 401k. So we have a program here that I like to use a lot that I got from one of the companies that I work with. It's called Agency Rockets. It's a kind of really fun program. But what it does here is it's going to show you how to, what real time is going to look like for your 401k as you're contributing to it. So how I've set this up so that you guys can see that is that if you're looking at my screen, here a little bit, that I've got it set up at a current rate of return of 6.58%. Now, full disclosure, when I do this, there is no up and down in the market, meaning that it's never going to indicate if you're losing or, going any higher. Because, we're just going to average it out that, hey, over these next years from age 27 to all the way to 65, we're going to say, hey, you're going to average a 6.58% return, which is actually quite good. Annual contributions, $10,250 per year for this individual. This is including that employer match that you are getting as well. I'm also going to highlight the fees that are being paid in a 401k that many people do not understand exist, the account balance, and also I'm going to add in there taxes that you're deferring. Because remember, in a 401k, it's a pre-tax system where you will be deferring taxes until you get into retirement. Now, the really fun part is as I do this, I'm going to slide this bar because it's going to show over the years, and you can see it accumulate, that the individual is putting funds into their retirement. And you're going to see here that it's growing. And here, let's just kind of highlight that as well so you can see the total contributions over time. And I'm going to take this all the way up to the point of, hey, 64 years old, 1 year before retirement. Okay? Because remember, retirement is a long-term investment. It's a long-term plan. So annual contributions, now we're up to kind of 19,000. Total annual contributions, $541,000. That includes that employer match. We have $228,000 in fees that you have paid. Not making that up. Actually, when I put the inputs in, I lowered the fees to 2.5% so that it's because a lot of times they're actually a lot higher than that, but I dropped them down to 2.5%. Now you've also deferred $410,000 in taxes that you are going to have to pay. Now the account balance is actually $1.1 million if you take that all into consideration. However, if you were to pass away at this date, you're only going to be receiving $564,000 because the fees and the taxes have to come out of there. But now let's take an example here of what retirement looks like. So at age 65, we're going to be start pulling out retirement. And this individual said, hey, you know what? I want to kind of keep my same exact retirement. I want to keep the $109,000. I've done well. $1 million, that should keep growing, right? So this individual has chosen to take out $109,000. They need to pay $21,000 in taxes. So their annual, what they're going to be getting back is $87,000 a year. So $87,000, if you divide that by 12, that means they're going to be living on $7,250 a month. Okay. Not including Social Security. I don't really take that in consideration. Now you got to remember $7,250. Some of you might be saying, hey, that's a lot of money. Right now it could be a lot of money, but you got to remember this individual is 27 years old and they're going to retire at 65. So you've got 30 plus years of inflation that you need to incorporate into that. So what $7,500 may be today is not what it's going to be in 30 plus years. So you're actually kind of probably at a low level. Now, what I want you to pay attention to is as you keep going every single year, you're going to watch these numbers deplete little by little by little. Okay. And by the time you hit 65 and you hit age 78, you are out of money. You have completely depleted your 401k plan. How do you protect that? How do you stop that from happening? Well, you reduce what you're going to be taking. So a lot of individuals say, yeah, I'm going to just decrease what I'm going to be taking. But hey, I had $1 million in there, right? My account value is at $1 million. All right, well, let's just take $1 million. Right now, they're saying that you should only take 3.3% of $1 million because it's got to last you 25 plus years. Here, this did not even last you that long. Okay. And for most people, they're living a lot longer than that. So let's take $1 million and multiply that. But what they're recommending right now is 0.33%. That means you need to live on $33,000 a year to make sure your life insurance policy or I'm sorry, your 401k is going to be lasting that long. So that takes you down to $2,750 a month. Not good. This is a real live demonstration. Okay. I didn't create this. I just put the numbers in of what the individual was contributing, and this is what happens by the time they turn 78. 65 to 75 was only 10 years. 13 years. They're out of money. I know a lot of 78-year-olds. They're pretty busy. They're still traveling. They're doing a lot of things. Is this the situation you want to be in? No. That's why we talk about diversification. So you know what? I want you to join me tomorrow because I'm going to show you a side-by-side example of another retirement tool that you can use that will provide you with guaranteed income for life so you never have to worry about running out of money and live much more comfortably than this. So till tomorrow, see you then.